Hi everybody, my name is Taya Collins and I'm here with Insider Travel Report with Lisa Paul. She is the Senior Vice President of Spyscape. So she's here to tell us a little bit more about the museum and the exhibits and everything else this awesome museum has to offer. Hi Lisa.
Hi.
Thank you so much for inviting us out.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. You guys just had the Spyscape Festival.
Yes,
that
we
was
did.
awesome. You guys brought in so many interesting and fascinating panelists and that was very, very cool. So how do you find all these people to come in?
Well, we actually have a sister company. It's an agency, and we help former CIA, FBI, KGB, MI6, and Mossad professionals to connect with audiences through speaking engagements and training of corporate teams and consulting on film and television shows. So we have our relationships with them. So we just decided to get together and get them closer to our audience, who's always eager to know more about what they did and, you know, whether or not they might be well suited for a career in intelligence or investigative law enforcement. So,
It's very, very awesome, very interesting. And so tell me a little bit more about like the testing. How did you guys compile all this and how did you guys decide to build it in this way? And are there any new exhibits that are coming?
It is a museum. We have wonderful exhibits that teach you all about real-world espionage and investigative law enforcement throughout history and current hacking and cybersecurity issues, World War II, the Cuban Missile Crisis. But really, I think the bigger lure is not just the immersion of the environment, but the interactive assessment of your own skills and attributes.
It's true.
You learn a lot about yourself. You're tested in a number of different ways. Your ability to detect deception, your surveillance skills, your ability to decrypt, your hand-eye coordination and agility, and things like your empathy levels and your tolerance for risk. These are all rooted in a real-world assessment that was used by MI6. This was designed by a former head of training from British intelligence, MI6. So the psychology of it and the assessment areas of the attributes that are assessed are what has been used in real-world recruitment and training in the MI6 environment. So it's credible, it's legit, it's not silly or hokey. And it's interesting for all ages. I mean, people walk away with insight about themselves that sometimes surprises them.
Just didn't even know. I know, it's true. And then it's also really exciting at the end of all of it, you get to kind of put your wristband up and you get to see what kind of agent you would make. And so I think I was just an analyst. But
don't say just an analyst. If you were here on Saturday night and you heard our real world CIA panel sitting on the stage talking about the different roles, analysts are critical.
It's true.
It's really important.
It's very important. And they are, I mean, it was fascinating listening to everybody because there's so many different levels. Everyone just is used to the movies and they think, you know, James Bond or like, you know, Jack Ryan, even though he was an analyst, but like, you think it's all just action, action, action. But there's so much that goes into each part of like being part of the Bureau, and I think that's very fascinating. It was very cool. Now the Spyscape Festival, is it something you put on yearly?
So this was our first one, and we will absolutely be doing more. What the cadence of that will be, we don't know yet. There might be another one coming quite soon. But we're working on that. We did not expect it to sell out every night for our first one. It was very well received. And everybody's eager to do it again, the talent that came, and the audience, I'm sure, is hungry for more. So we will be doing it again. I can't tell you when yet. We're working on it.
It's working on it. It's a work in progress. And so some of the other things you guys offer here, there is, tell me more about like the book club, or it's like the Monday book something that I saw on social media.
So on Mondays, when you come to Spyscape, you can get a free copy of a brand new book, a spy book or a crime novel, and sometimes before it's available to the public. So before you come and you're choosing which ticket type to buy, if you buy a Story Mondays ticket, when you come on Mondays, you'll receive a copy of the book, a very cute Spyscape tote bag, and bookmark. Today's book, for those who come today, is by Peter Bergen, and it's The Rise and Fall of Osama bin Laden, and he tells the whole story about how he got that interview with Osama bin Laden, that first television interview.
It's incredible.
In fact, it's such an extraordinary story that we have a 3-part podcast featuring Peter telling the story in great detail, coming out on, the first episode will drop on November 8th.
Okay.
And it's part of our True Spies podcast series.
True Spies.
So anyway, that's the payoff. Buy a Story Mondays ticket. And when you get here, you not only get the museum experience and the interactive assessment experience.
Yes.
You get this free copy of a wonderful in-genre book and tote and bookmark. We have a wonderful network of podcast series, something for everyone, really. People who love real world stories. Each episode of our series, True Spies, features one CIA, FBI, KGB, MI6, Mossad operative talking about one story, one operation that they lived through, hosted by celebrities. And that was ranked #1 on Apple's true crime chart at one point, but you can listen to it anywhere.
Yes.
And our other series that's doing so well is called The Spying Game. And on that series, our host, Rory Bremner, brings a real world espionage or a crime fighting individual, professional, together with a storyteller of some kind. So a screenwriter or a director or an actor.
Oh, wow.
And they kind of reconcile, the real world with stories and movie scenes and books, and what characters and stories work well and what is implausible and would never happen in real life, but it works well for a story.
Of course, yes.
So there, of course, the podcast. And we haven't even talked about Batman yet.
Yes, tell me all about the new Batman exhibit.
So Batman is, it affords you an opportunity to join forces with major DC characters in fighting an evil empire in a very interactive and very immersive way.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's stunning. It's a beautiful environment. And you get involved using your app, and you basically help the DC world solve this crime.
Okay.
And this last iteration of Batman with Robert Pattinson, he was very much a detective, kind of slightly different than those before. So it's wonderfully aligned. It was designed in partnership with Warner Brothers.
Oh, wow.
It is temporary. It's not going to be here forever.
Okay.
I believe we're going into the new year at some point. I don't know exactly when it will change over, but
so fans need to come now so they can experience this.
Yeah,
yes.
And it's just really, really wonderful.
Is there anything else about Spyscape that you would like to share with our audience today?
Just go to spyscape.com, buy tickets, come when you can, or just come and check out our bookshop. It's amazing the feedback we get about the bookshop. I don't know that people realize that print is still in, it's still around, it's still hot. And we obviously specialize in our genre. We have collectible books, we have the newest releases, we have something for every age. As we try to do in everything, it's really a, all ages welcome, kind of environment. And the bookshop is that. And it's always been interesting to me how much people love, sometimes people just come in and hang there. And go to spyscape.com, buy your tickets, come visit us, experience the museum and learn more about yourself, probably than you ever wanted to know. Or don't buy a ticket yet. Come in if you're walking by, come see the bookshop, come in and look at the gift shop. We haven't even talked about that.
Yes, there's a lot of good little knickknacks and books.
The really cool collection of goods that our head of retail has curated is everything from very cool gadgetry and wearables, glasses that will enable you to see what's going on behind you without anyone realizing that you're doing that. Yes, great shirt. So even just strolling in, if you have a 15-minute break, come and see the shop, come and see the bookstore, and then buy your ticket and come.
Well, I hope all of you come and experience Spyscape for everything it has to offer. This is Taya Collins and Lisa Paul. I'm with Insider Travel Report, and we'll see you next time.